In this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best shooting guard cards right now in NBA 2K23 My Team. Let me know in the comment section down below who are some of your guys' favorite shooting guards to be running right now in the game. And of course, let me know what you guys would change about my top 10. But coming in at the number 10 spot, for me personally, is going to be the Dark Matter Kawhi Leonard. Now, I just want to quickly say some honorable mention, guys. Scottie Pippen, Vince Carter, I think are both great options at the shooting guard position. I just like Kawhi Leonard a tad bit more than those guys. And then also cards like Paul George, Kobe Bryant, Clyde Drexler, Eddie Jones, they could be somewhere in your top 10 as well. I think once again, just like my point guard list, everybody from 9, or I would say for this, like everybody from 9 all the way to 1, I feel pretty confident about. But number 10, I think there's so many different cards you can go with. I decided on Dark Matter Kawhi because for me personally, like when I've used this card, whether his elemental version or his playoffs, he's just super elite on the defensive end. I mean, we know Kawhi Leonard is going to be a monster on defense. He's 6'7" at the 2, 7'3" wingspan, perfect defensive stats and badges. He's got great all-around stats and badges for the card just in general. And then his jump shot, in my eyes, really isn't that bad. Like, I feel like in the catch and shoot, it's really not that terrible on very quick timing. Is he an amazing card? I would say no, but I think for me personally, is a top 10 shooting guard in the game. At the number 9 spot is going to be Opal Billy Knight. Just a super well-rounded card. He's 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan. He sometimes does seem a little bit small in game just because his player build is a little bit skinny and does make him look a little bit shorter, but all around still amazing stats and badges. 92 3 ball, 95 mid-range, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, solid defensive stats, pretty good Hall of Fame defensive badges, good at going to the basket with a 95 driving dunk. And then you take a look at his animations, where he probably is the best, for the shooting guard position. One of the best animations on a shooting guard card, having the Rudy Gay base, Oscar Robertson upper, all in quick time is a really good jump shot. And then he also does have the D-Mitch size up, the John Wall scape, and then he's got like front clutches and some pretty good dunk packages as well. So Billy Knight, super complete card, just maybe a tad bit undersized, but all around still the 9th best shooting guard in the game. At the number 8 spot is going to be the new Galaxy Opal Antoine Jameson. I'm actually super high on this card. I know a lot of people maybe haven't used him yet, or I feel like a lot of people really aren't talking about Antoine with all the great cards that we did get out of position 2, but he's a really nice shooting guard. He's 6'8" with a 7'4" wingspan. I mean, great player model at that too. Really good all-around stats. Like, just a super well-rounded card when looking at him on paper. And then he also does have tons of Hall of Fame shooting badges. He's got Hall of Fame clamp breaker, quick first step, Hall of Fame anchor, clamps, menace, pogo stick, rebound chaser. But the best thing about this card in my eyes has to be his jump shot. I feel like it's such a good release, super quick, like it gets up super fast, and you could shoot in people's faces a lot with that Carmelo Anthony upper and the Kyle Korver base on very quick timing. I wish he probably had a better size up, like he only has that on pro. I wish he had like the Kyle Lowry size up or the Garland size up. Would make this card a lot better at the 2, but in my opinion, I still think he's the 8th best shooting guard. At the number 7 spot is going to be Galaxy Book Glenn Rice. Just another really complete card. He's 6'7" at the 2 with a 6'9" wingspan. Very solid all-around stats. Maybe his defense could be a tad bit better, but offensively, I mean, the card's still a really good 3 hunter, having the Trae Young escape and the Kyrie Irving size up. I will say the Kyrie size up isn't as good as I thought it would be. It sometimes does get those weird animations where his crossover is a little bit slow at times, but besides that, this card's got great movement. I do like his jump shot with the Markelle Fultz base and the Gary Payton II jump shot or upper release on very quick timing. And then he also does have front clutches and some pretty good dunk packages. So all around, I think Glenn Rice is the 7th best shooting guard in the game. At the number 6 spot is going to be Galaxy Opal Ricky Davis, who I think is just slightly better than Glenn Rice because I do think he's got a way better jump shot. Very similar shooting guards, both being 6'7", both having around the same wingspan. Stats are very similar. I mean, Ricky Davis is definitely a better defender, and that's also why I do have him over Glenn Rice, but I think mainly it comes down to his jump shot. I think it's a lot better of a release with the Seth Curry base and the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing, super quick and very easy to green. And then I also do like the T-Mac size up a little bit more than the Kyrie Irving size up. I will say if he had the Trae escape, I feel like it could make this card a ton better. And then he also does have quick drops off 1 with no front clutches. So Glenn Rice, Ricky Davis, a close debate, but I do think Ricky Davis is a tad bit better. At the number 5 spot, really hard to rank this card, but It's going to be the Galaxyable Big Z, because at the shooting guard position, I'm not sure how good he actually is. I think if you run him in the right lineup with the right players around him, he can be super effective at that small forward or shooting guard position because he's 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan. Like, I think the perfect lineup around him is like a Jokic or an MJ, a Ron Artest, a Jimmy Butler at the point guard position, him at shooting guard. You know, if you're going to run him at the 2, then throw KG at the small forward spot with maybe like, you know, Dwight Howard and Yao Ming, something like that, or go Taco Fall and Dwight, something like that, having those two giants with Big Z and Taco, and then you can kind of move like Dwight Howard, you know, to your small forward position, and then have Taco guard the center, Big Z guard the power forward. And if you really, you know, mismatch your matchups, you can have a very good defensive lineup, and overall a super OP lineup having those tall players next to Big Z. And I think at the shooting guard position, that's why he can be super valuable. At the number 4 spot, I am going with the Dark Matter KG. I think he's possibly a better card than maybe the number 3 guy, but I think at the shooting guard position, I have him number 4. I think he's a way better small forward because of his defense. He's 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan. Just like Big Z, you're not going to be really moving with Kevin Garnett. He's not going to be your main source of offense, and that's where most people do put their offensive cards, is at the shooting guard position. So unless you're running a different lineup and you have possibly like a Jordan at the 1, then yeah, KG can definitely go to the 2, but I think his primary position and his better position should be the small forward, at least in my eyes, because of his defense. He's a very good lockdown. I've always said he's basically just a better Bill Russell. Bill Russell with a better jump shot and better dribble sigs is pretty much what you get in this Dark Matter KG. But in my opinion, the 3rd best shooting guard right now in the game is the Dark Matter Steve Smith. I mean, this card is on that Tracy McGrady type of level. He's 6'8" at the 2 with a 6'10" wingspan. Amazing all around stats and badges. I mean, he's a Dark Matter, so we know he's going to have those great stats and badges. But then when you go to his animations, he's got elite dribble sigs with the Kyle Lowry size up, and he does have the Trae Young escape. He's also got, you know, the LaMelo Ball base, the Evan Fournier up around very quick timing, and he also does have the Trae Young leaner. So just a super complete shooting guard, and I think he's easily in the top 3. I mean, you could maybe make an argument for Kevin Garnett over him just because of his defense and his defensive presence, but I think for me at the shooting guard position, I would take Steve Smith over Kevin Garnett. And then for number 2 and number 1, it's always been this really close debate between T-Mac and Terry Dischinger. I think it really just comes down to preference. It's like really 1A and 1B for me. I like Terry Dischinger a little bit more because he's got the better size up. He's got the Steve Francis size up, where if you look at T-Mac, he has the T-Mac size up because they basically got the same sigs. You know, they got very similar jump shots. They both have the KPJ base, but then Terry Dischinger does have the Carmelo Anthony upper, which is a lot quicker, or fairly quicker, than the Oscar upper. So here's what I will say. T-Mac has got the easier, more smooth jump shot to green in the game. So if you're not really good with quick jump shots and you'd rather just an easy jump shot that's still super quick, then I would say T-Mac is probably your guy to go with. But if you're like me and you can green those really fast releases and you like to have those guys that can really shoot off the dribble at a very high level, that's when I do think T-Mac is slightly better, or I think Terry Dischinger is slightly better than T-Mac because he's got this Steve Francis size up, which is going to really help him create more space and get downhill. And then that jump shot with the Carmelo Anthony upper, super quick, and I feel like you can get it off a little bit faster than a card like T-Mac's release. But both amazing shooting guards. I think they're 1A, 1B. I'm gonna go Terry Dischinger number 1 and T-Mac number 2. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 10 shooting guards, and let me know what shooting guard cards are you guys currently running on your squad. And yeah, let me know all the type of stuff in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.